Hi, Vincent.
Hi there.
It's a really positive showing against Bournemouth despite the scoreline. So how's the mood been in the camp this week?
I think the way we are, the way this club is we always keep going, and the toughest part is the moment after the game. But then afterwards, you always look at at how you need to be, how you need to be preparing yourself for the next game, and it requires all the attention to that.
You've done the midweek away trips and then the weekends. Big Premier League game. Looking at West Ham. I mean, how much can you take advantage of the fact they lost in Freiburg and are still coming back from Germany and all the rest of it?
It's difficult to say. I think with playing midweek away type of situation, and depends. Every group is different. I suppose if you're not used to it, it might affect you a little bit more, but I think West Ham is a team that's used to having a fixture this way. They've reached the final of the Conference League not so long ago, so it's a team that's used to that. For us, it's more a case of really being ready ourselves for this game.
There has been some criticism of some of the players from Burnley fans, James Trafford in goal being one and Dar O'Shea at the back. Are the players aware of that? And as the manager, where are you feeling as far as when there are criticism coming their way?
No, I just feel as a group we always have to stick together, and at the moment my only priority is the group, and that's all it is. When you lose, you always come under criticism, and it's part of the job.
And finally, if you look at the bottom three, it's the three who came up last season. Sheffield United are really struggling. And we saw how brilliant Burnley were last season. Is there something I won't say wrong with the Premier League, but is this an issue that there's such a gap between, the top and the middle and the bottom? I mean, even Bournemouth, who beat you on the weekend, that was the first win of 2024. And we're talking about a competitive league. The gap seems massive.
Yeah, look... It is what it is. I mean, sometimes you can look into it as much as you want. I mean, the top of the championship, maybe except this year, because this year some really, really big clubs went down. But at the very top of the championship runs at what? 30 to 50 million pound cost annually. The bottom of the Premier League runs at what? 150, 160 annually. So it's just a massive difference in everything, but from our side, no complaints. That's what we signed up for. That's we know we want to be in the Premier League, and the fact that it's not an easy ride is also not surprising because of what I described. It's just for us to keep the consistency, keep the players calm, and make sure we can try and turn those performances into results very soon.
And I said finally, if you hear me for one more as well, the team against Bournemouth, there was only one player in the 30s. Lots of young players in this squad. Are you feeling like you're having to protect those players at all, especially the ones in the early 20s?
I don't really think like that too much. I've got a group of players, and on any given day, any player has the chance to convince me that they should be starting, and the only thing I worry about is just putting the right team for the game, and that gives us the best chance to winning the game. Thank you.
I'm just following on from one of those points. You said in an interview last week that you feel as if you personally have improved an awful lot over the last year. Even with that being the case, is that maybe just another harsh reality of just how difficult it is, how big a gap there is in terms of management possibilities when you go from Championship to Premier League?
But there's no complaint from my side. Like, the fact of the matter is that in the last 24 months, it's been such a fantastic learning experience, and there's a lot of value in it, and it's the way you handle it. For myself, I've never put myself into a corner and start feeling sorry for myself. I go full on. I take it, I take it head on, and it's tough, but as well, I'm confident that because of this period of time, we'll all get better. We'll all come stronger out of this one, and we haven't. I know when you don't have the points and you have a couple of bad performances like we very clearly did against Arsenal and Palace, it kind of creates a very different narrative and picture than what actually has been going on for a long time. Like against Bournemouth, we've had very good performances, but we've come short in areas of a game you can't underestimate, which is in both boxes. That's the truth for us this year. But it also reflects on the level of the league.
The multi-million pound question from that then is how do you go about improving that? I mean, do you take encouraging signs from the fact that you had 75% possession against Bournemouth and 20 shots on the goal? Yeah. The fact that players are actually putting themselves in those positions in order to be able to do that. Do you take the positives from that as opposed to some people look at it and think, well, you haven't done enough?
Yeah, but that's always a thing where it's very personal as to how you are as an individual. You got the guys who say, well, it's all about results if you don't have results. And then you've got guys who say, no, if you keep having performances and if you stick at it, then you'll improve and eventually you get results. Everybody depends on a little bit how you look at these things. I think from my side, I see tremendous amount of courage in a team to, when you get beaten down a little bit like it was after the Palace game, to build your energy back up and show what we showed on the game against Bournemouth and have the performance, because you mentioned the 20 shots on the 20 shots we had, but it's also the way we were aggressive in duels and the way we were aggressive all over the pitch. To be able to master that at this point, to re-bring that energy at this point of the season when we've taken so many, we've had so many tough weekends. That's something special. It says something about the team. And I know that at the end of the day, results do come from these type of showing. Results do come from, teams that can be alive in moments like this. It's just not happened. That's the truth we have to deal with.
As far as West Ham are concerned, obviously had a little bit of a sticky patch, but still find themselves in 7th in the Premier League. I mean, what do you make of the job that David Moyes has done there over the past few years to take from where they were to a side that's won European Cups? He's doing well in the Premier League, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think David Moyes has always done well, and if he's won a European trophy, what more do you have to say? What could crown the job that you've done at a players better than that? He's won a European trophy for West Ham, but I remember playing against these teams when he had the big Everton side with Fellaini, Cahill up front, and what that team used to represent. And over the years, he's been able to field, a couple of very good teams that have impacted the Premier League. One of those teams actually helped us win the Premier League. Does anyone know which game I'm talking about?
What was that again?
The David Moyes team that helped us win the Premier League.
Lost against Man United.
I think it's Man United.
No, you don't remember, do you? I'll let you guys find out. There's one moment that has been very crucial, but that moment also reflects on the teams he's had in this league. Really good teams that I remember as always being tough opponents to play against.
Was that the 4-4 draw? It's good with Everton.
That's why he's sat in this chair and not over there.
They got back to 4-4 later on, and that was 2 points.
Yeah, Big Freddy. All these guys.
Are you surprised he gets a little bit of criticism, or has done this season at West Ham?
In a football world, no, of course I'm not surprised. But I wish for him to win another European trophy. I guess that'll settle it. But from my side, look, I think I can just speak about what I've seen him do over the years. And then at the end of the day, that's also the reason why, for me, it's a great game it's a great manager to come up against, and it's a great game for us to look forward to.
Yeah, he's sustained it for so long now, hasn't he? In the Premier League, that's quite a difficult thing to do. But with different clubs as well.
Yeah, and as well, knowing a little bit about him, I know how many hours he's put in over the years. So, these guys have got a lot to share, because to be able to to have that drive for so many years, you know, it's I think that gets sometimes underestimated by people, how much inner strength, how much inner motivation you need to have to go and, you know, take on the competition with anyone. For me, it's easy to have the energy. I've just walked into the job, and I feel like I could go on for another 30 years. But when you look and fast forward that a little bit, you're thinking, well, it's a pretty long time in a job where 3 years feel like 10 years. And you know, I said that about Roy Hodgson, which is another generation still, but I can only admire the work.
I spoke to Jakob Brun-Larsen on Sunday after the match, and he spoke a lot about players' personal pride now, kind of being front and centre of their minds. Do you see that on a daily basis down here?
Whenever they play against Bournemouth, yes, and that's also what I want them to reflect. You know, you're not going to win all the games in life, but you have to be able to always represent yourself in a way where you kind of say, right, I've done my best, and that will give us results. I mean, it gave us results and fantastic moments last season. This season's been difficult, but it will give us results again. And what Jakob is saying is absolutely what we feel. You know, every single day there's hard work. Every single day we just push each other to keep performing. And on Sunday, that's what we want to do against West Ham again. Does
that professional pride, that personal pride, is that even more important when the going is tough and times are difficult?
I'd like to keep it even more simple. It's like, what we're here to work. At the end, we're here to work. We're here to improve. We're here to get results. And all that thing about when you go and say, like, we need to have results. Okay, what do you need to do to have results? Work hard, always. There's a reality sometimes where other teams are better than you. And this season, we just simply faced that in some occasions, teams were just better than us. But how do you catch up? How do you get to that level? You work hard, and this place, it is Burnley. That's what happens behind the scenes, nothing else.
Good luck.
Thank you.